college hoops on this foggy, wet Sunday afternoon in Central Illinois, and we are set for what we hope will be an exciting basketball game between the Braves and the Redbirds. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. Bradley will start Jen Brown, Erica Nelson, Jenny Mueller, Alex Liberatore, and Dina Williams, who was held scoreless in the first meeting between these two teams. The Redbirds will start Megan McCracken, Jackie McCormick, Katie Donovan, Amber Shelton, and Holly Hallstrom. The Braves coached by Paula Buscher. In her 5th year at Bradley, 61 wins and 72 losses. She is 104 and 110 in 8 seasons all time, if you count her wins and losses from her days as head coach of Nebraska Omaha and Minnesota State Mankato. Meanwhile, the ISU Redbirds have Robin Pinchton in her 2nd year as head coach, 25 wins, 28 losses. She's in her 10th season overall as a women's basketball coach. She spent 8 previous seasons at St. Ambrose, her alma mater, and her overall record is 219 and 104. The all-time series is led by Illinois State, and as we always tell you when these two teams meet, there's a discrepancy on the number of wins and losses. Illinois State University says the all-time series is led by the Birds 28-16. Bradley says that the Redbirds lead the all-time series 33-22, so just a difference in their record keeping. Let's take a look at, Rich, what you think could be some important statistics to watch today.
Well, really, when you look at these teams, they match up fairly evenly point-wise. The Birds are scoring a little more. Field goal percentage is, about a point apart. And if you look at that turnover margin, both teams are in the deficit area there. And then, of course, the big one, maybe the 3-point field goals per game, is the Birds shoot it a lot, 7.5 a game as compared to just shy of 5 for the Braves. And really, in talking to the coaching staffs, I think ISU thinks they should have won the first game at Robertson Fieldhouse. It was an ugly game, a lot of turnovers, not much flow, and Bradley managed to squeak out a meager victory at home.
Indeed, Bradley won that first meeting 57-55 in Peoria on January the 21st. Jackie McCormick had a shot in the air at the buzzer, which would have tied the game in forced overtime, but it didn't happen. We'll step aside, and when we come back, live college hoops from Normal. It's Bradley and Illinois State up next here on WTVP Channel 47.
Bradley Women's Basketball on WTVP is brought to you in part by...
I just put my birthday money in a savings account.
Good things usually start small.
I want a good deal on my car and my loan.
But goals change. That's why SEFCU is always there.
I don't know which will be finished first, the house or me.
Helping borrowers and savers.
Sure, I'm retired, but I still think about my future.
Because at SEFCU, it's all about putting people first.
Back here at Redbird Arena, where we're getting set for Bradley and Illinois State. The Braves at 13-9 overall, 6-7 in the conference. The Redbirds at 8-15 overall, 5-9 in the league. Rich Chaponis, Robert Strong, Randy Campbell will work this afternoon's game. The Braves are in their road red uniforms with white trim. Illinois State in the home whites with red trim. Dina Williams to jump center against Holly Hallstrom, and Bob Strong ready to walk into the circle, and we will be underway here. The tip is controlled by Erica Nelson, and Bradley will have the first possession. And we are glad you're alongside for Bradley Women's Hoops here on WTVP. Kurt Pegler and Rich Drager with you. It's senior day here at Illinois State, the last regular season home game for 5 Redbird seniors. Dina Williams' first shot is no good. Again, Williams held scoreless in the first meeting between the two teams in Peoria. She didn't score a point in 14 minutes of action. Jenny Mueller had just 7 points in that game, so the two leading scorers for the Braves were held to just 7 points combined, and the Braves still won that ballgame.
By the way, we've kind of seen the way it's going to go. Bradley thinks they have an inside advantage with Dina. That's their shot. ISU cranks up a 3.
Nelson guarded by McCormick. Now Mueller goes into Williams, right away backs in on Hallstrom. Her right-handed hook is no good. It's McCracken who comes down with it for Illinois State. A transfer from Iowa State, playing in her first year for Robin Pinchton.
Bradley playing man-to-man.
Short shot is missed that time by Amber Shelton, the freshman from Edwardsville High School, and now it's Jen Brown who will walk the ball up the floor. No score. We've played 1 minute 10 seconds here at Redbird Arena. Now Brown hands to Mueller. Bradley's won 7 of the last 10 meetings in this rivalry, so they've had the upper hand in the last 5 years. Ball on the floor, nearly lost, and now it is lost, and it's thrown away right to Alex Liberatore, who gets a gift and laid it in.
Well, that's her job and her game. She just hangs around the basket and makes things happen.
And so Liberatore, the junior from Springfield, gets on the board first. It's 2-0 Braves. Now it's Illinois State in the attacking zone. Katie Donovan, her three is off the mark. Tipped out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Braves.
They've fired up 2 3-pointers already, haven't hit yet, but again, you're kind of seeing what Bradley would like to see happen for them. Dina Williams getting involved on the defensive end, especially cleaning the glass. That's something that Coach Busher told her to concentrate on when she struggles offensively. Get some rebounds and play some defense.
Both these teams coming off losses. Bradley had a 3-game losing streak snapped in Terre Haute to Indiana State on Thursday, while the Redbirds were at home losing to Northern Iowa. Liberatore guarded by McCormick. Now up to Brown, steps inside the arch. That's a 3 actually off the front of the rim, no good. Tipped around, and it's out of bounds to whom? Illinois State.
Well, that's the advantage that Illinois State has. I think they have bigger guards. They have good average size, not a lot of great height. When you talk about Hallstrom at 6'2", all the rest are in that, 5'9", 5'11" range.
Redbirds still looking for their first points of the afternoon. Ball thrown away that time. Miscommunication, and Amber Shelton threw it out of bounds.
I think she thought McCormick was going to go one way and Jackie went the other.
Second Redbird turnover. Illinois State showing some token full court pressure here. This is a good matchup. Jen Brown against Megan McCracken. 2 of the better younger players in the league. A couple of sophomores. Foul away from the basketball. It's going to be whistled against the Redbirds. Katie Donovan, her first, and the team's first here this afternoon.
Hey, you talk about Jen Brown. She's had a nice game at Indiana State. First time in the last 3 that she's had more assists than turnovers. She had a couple game spell there where she had upside down numbers, assist to turnover.
Erica Nelson left open. Her 3 is missed. And it's Donovan who comes down with a loose ball for the Redbirds. So neither team heating it up so far from the outside. The Redbirds are 0 of 3 from the field, and Bradley's 1 of 4. McCormick's pass is tipped, and it's another turnover. And it's Erica Nelson that comes away with it. So after the steal, now the Braves in the front court with a 2-0 lead. And Mueller's pocket is picked that time by McCormick. 2-on-1 if she hurries. She leaves it for Donovan, who finishes the play and gets it to go down.
Great job by McCormick. She drew the defender to her, and then a nice little leave and a nice follow, and running the lane gets rewarded there.
And Donovan, who's averaging 14.3 points a game, Illinois State's leading scorer in the books, and has tied this ball game up at 2. Now it's Brown around the screen. Her short shot off the glass is no good. Loose ball is tipped, and it's still on the floor, and it's going to be a foul against Bradley, it appears. See who they whistle that one against.
I think they got Alex Liberatore. Probably a sigh of relief on the Bradley side that it wasn't Dina Williams, because she was in the neighborhood, and that's what happened in the first game. Silly fouls out on the floor.
And Dina fouled out in Thursday's loss in Terre Haute. And we all know that that's been a bugaboo of Dina Williams down through the years, and she is, make no doubt about it, having a wonderful senior year. If she stays on the floor, she's awfully tough, and Redbirds are going to get a couple of free throws as Holly Hallstrom took it right to the rack and drew the foul.
Nice job of a little bit of an inside-outside, and that foul is going to go against Jenny Mueller. We're going to get a chance to look at it. And there again is McCormick at the trigger and sees Hallstrom going down the lane just up, and there wasn't much chance for Jenny to get that, so she got called for a slap on the wrist.
Hallstrom is a transfer from Kirkwood Community College in Iowa. Played her high school ball in Moline. 6'2", the junior. And now we have our first substitution of the game. Devin Flanagan, freshman for the Braves from Riverton, comes in the ball game, and she replaces Jenny Mueller.
Hallstrom can score. She had 23 as her career high against Notre Dame. Not a very bad women's basketball program.
That's right. And that was in her debut. How's that? First game in a Redbird uniform, and drops 23 on the Irish in South Bend. She makes good on both free throws, and it's 4-2 in favor of Illinois State. Braves do a nice job breaking pressure. Erica Nelson down, and her short shot is missed. Ball on the floor, still down there. McCormick had it taken away from her by Dina Williams. Still a loose ball. Nobody with possession. A scrum. Somebody lost a shoe, and it's going to be a timeout for the Redbirds.
Wow.
How do you like that? 1st and 10.
Great hustle. I think just about everybody on the floor was on the floor.
30-second time.
Let's take a look at it. The Bradley coaching staff is wondering why a turnover wasn't called, why a travel violation wasn't whistled. It may just be because nobody had possession.
Yeah, I mean, you can look here. It's in Dina's hands. Then she loses it. Then Jackie McCormick knocks it out and gets kicked. You think they have it there, ISU, and then quickly there's another loose scrum, and right about there is where the timeout was apparently called. And I can't see who that is. Looks like maybe Donovan was down on the ground. Shelton is going to get credited with calling that timeout.
This may be a better look. McCormick with the ball there had her knocked out of her hands. And give credit to Dina Williams, who's on her knees and still somehow is active in keeping that ball alive. But as it turned out, it wound up with Holly Hallstrom somehow at the bottom grabbing a hold of it and calling timeout. And there's a couple of shoes left on the floor too.
All hands on deck.
Well, 1st and 10 for Illinois State. Randy Campbell, who's one of the officials, is a conference football official, so he must be thinking he's working a football game here this afternoon after that sequence. Here's McCormick's three. It's long and it's still good, and Shelton comes down with the offensive board, and she's going to get to the free throw line.
Nice job that time, because she was behind Alex Liberatore, but maintained her vertical posture as she went up and was able to get the rebound and then draw the foul. And that's going to be 2 on Alex.
And there's a timeout on the floor. When we come back, Amber Shelton to the free throw line. Redbirds lead the Braves 4-2 early on here in Normal. You're listening, watching Bradley and Illinois State women's basketball here on WTVP Channel 47.
Police in battle gear. With barely enough to eat.
There were reunions and rejoicing. Power crisis.
The agreement was celebrated by hundreds.
And the streets are now lethal.
BBC World News.
Here at Redbird Arena, it's been rough sledding for the offenses early on. Rich, Illinois State 1 of 5 from the field. Bradley 1 of 7 in the early going.
Yeah, really, free throws are the difference right now. And then you look at rebounds right now. Illinois State has the 7-3 edge there, so they're getting some second opportunities. And right now, getting all the loose balls, it seems, going ISU's way.
Shelton, a 4-time All-Stater in high school. She played her first 2 years of prep basketball at Carrollton, won a couple of state championships as a freshman and a sophomore, then followed her head coach Lori Blade to Edwardsville High School, where she completed her high school career and was an All-Stater there as well, and now is suiting up and playing, as you mentioned, 18 starts as a freshman for Illinois State.
Bradley has 3 rebounds, and they've all come from Dina Williams.
5-2, the Redbird lead here. We've played 4.5 minutes, and we've got a whistle away from the basketball. It's going to be against Illinois State, it appears. Dina Williams that time drew a foul and did it against Amber Shelton. So Shelton is whistled for her first.
It's one of the problems where ISU has a problem matching up on the inside now that Hallstrom's out of there. You have a 5'10" player guarding Dina at 6'4".
Williams the miss on the short shot. Bradley now 1 of 8 from the floor. Katie Donovan all the way down. Nobody stopped her, took it right to the rim, but she had her shot altered that time by Dina Williams. Now, if they credit her with a block, that would be 52 on the season, which would tie her single season record set in her sophomore year. Williams looking inside and now goes outside. Doesn't appear that they have credited her with that block, though. Ball on the floor, and the Redbirds come away with it, a steal, and it's a 2-on-1 if Illinois State wants it. Donovan down, lost the dribble, left it for a trailing Hallstrom. Her short shot is no good, got her offensive board, stuck it back in, a three-point play opportunity.
Perfect example of what we talked about earlier, the big players filling the lane, and a second effort again gets a basket that time and a free throw.
Donovan lost the dribble, looked as if she were in trouble, but then trailing the play was Hallstrom, who made the basket, and now a chance at the free throw line to give Illinois State an 8-point lead. But she misses the foul shot, and it's Shalene who comes into the ball game and now comes away with the rebound. Now it's Devin Flanagan looking inside to Dina Williams. The ball is knocked away. It's the second steal of the game by Jackie McCormick.
Nice job that time, just reaching around and poking her away from behind.
McCormick with the quick hands. She's had 17, now 18 steals in her last 5 games. That's going to be a travel violation against Shelton. But that's McCormick's game, 18 steals in the last 5 games.
Well, she's everywhere. I mean, we talk about someone that is a glue that holds a team together. She definitely is that for the Redbirds. You have to remember, this is a team that was picked 3rd in the preseason, so maybe they've underachieved at times, but they still have a chance to make some noise in the conference.
Freshman Tiffany Hudson, guard from Naperville, is in the game, number 20. She replaces Megan McCracken, who goes and takes a breather on the Redbird bench. Illinois State with a 5-point lead. The Braves trying to attack. Missed shot that time is out of bounds by Devin Flanagan. The Braves are really struggling from the field, folks. 1 out of 9 right now from the floor.
Not the start I'm sure that Bradley wanted, and this is the type of thing that'll give a team some incentive. They being Illinois State, if they start getting a few more to drop, they're very comfortable.
Well, senior day has always an opportunity to be an emotional day, and you either ride the emotions to a win or you get so swept up in the emotions of playing your last home game that you fall into a funk. And right now the Redbirds are trying to ride that emotion to a win. We might have a 3-second violation. We've got a travel violation against Redbirds. And now Jenny Mueller's going to re-enter the game for Devin Flanagan.
Yeah, you talked about that. There's going to be 10 players in this game. Last time they're playing in the this Bradley ISU rivalry, and here's the look inside at what happened last time, and Bradley doing a good job defensively, just getting their hands in there and tying that ball up.
Back to live action, and a steal by Illinois State's Amber Shelton on a held ball now. It's going to go back to the Redbirds. It was Erica Nelson who got her hand in there. So Shelton with the steal, Nelson with the tie-up, and it all goes to a held ball back to Illinois State.
Well, the officials talking things over here. Make sure they have it right.
And they may be awarding that basketball to Bradley.
Well, the scrum they had down here went to ISU,
that's
so maybe
true.
They didn't.
Although that was a timeout credited to Illinois State.
True.
So maybe that's what they're trying to
determine.
Figure out is who the held ball. The possession arrow right now is pointing to Bradley, but that may have been because the table had already changed the arrow to face in favor of the Braves.
And it is Illinois State ball.
Well, the opening tip went to Bradley, and in that case, then the possession arrow, since we have not had a held ball since, should have been facing Illinois State, so the Redbirds will have it. 13:39 to go here in this opening half of play at Redbird Arena, where it's Illinois State 7 and Bradley 2. Live college basketball, women's hoops here on WTVP Channel 47. Kurt Pegler, Rich Drager, glad you're alongside for this telecast of the I-74 rivalry. The Braves won the first matchup at Robertson Fieldhouse last month. See what happens here today. Missed shot by Hudson, and the Redbirds come away with an offensive board. Second chance points has been a big factor in favor of Illinois State here. Shelton from the outside. Her 3 is no good. Hallstrom got her hands on it again. Second offensive rebound in this set.
Great job of just flying to the ball and keeping it alive.
So they'll reload the offense and get a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Now it's McCormick left open. Her 3 is up and missed back in the iron. And guess who again? 3 offensive rebounds on this trip down the floor by Holly Hallstrom. Donovan in traffic. Now it's McCormick down the wing, blocked by Williams. That's out of bounds to the Braves.
Well, that was a weird scenario. You had Dina Williams, the center, coming out and playing McCormick on the wing. She got beat on the drive, but got the block. Here's another look at that, and watch Dina. She's obviously beaten there, but the long stretch and from behind knocked it away. Got a little body. Lucky they didn't call a foul.
And she now, with her 52nd block, has tied her own single-season record at Bradley. Next block for Dina Williams will be a new record at the Hilltop. And we've got a shooting foul coming as Jenny Mueller drew contact.
Redbird foul, number 23, Jackie McCormick.
McCormick's going to be whistled for her first foul. It's the 3rd team foul against the Redbirds.
And free throws continue to be the difference as Illinois State's only 2 for 12 shooting. Bradley stuck on that 1. They're 1 for 9.
And so Mueller, who is the career leader in field free throw percentage at Bradley, to the foul line.
Substitution for the Redbirds entering the game for the first time.
Now we see Amy Peters come in for the Braves, and Ashley Sandstead, a freshman from Buffalo Grove, coming in now for Illinois State. You see Ashley Shalene taking a seat on the Bradley bench. And now Megan McCracken hustles to the scorer's table, and she'll re-enter the game, and she'll send the freshman Tiffany Hudson back to the Redbird bench.
I think both coaches trying to find a combination that they are comfortable with, as well as keep legs fresh as they can.
For the first time, number 3, Sophie Turtio.
Sophie Turtio, a senior from Belgium. That's her coming in the game. So on her senior day, she gets an opportunity to get on the floor. She's somebody who can score in a hurry. So Mueller makes both of those foul shots. It's Bradley's first points since the 2-minute mark. The Braves going better than 6 minutes without scoring here this afternoon. And the Braves still only have 1 field goal. 7-4, the Illinois State advantage. As we approach the 12-minute mark left opening half. Donovan cut off that time. Now from the outside, Turtio misses. Chased down in the corner by Jen Brown. Back come the Braves. Now it's Peters who's just entered the game. Nice drop down pass to Dina Williams, who missed the shot. Turtio comes away with it for Illinois State. Braves now 1 of 10 from the field, just trying to break out of this shooting slump. Now from the outside, McCracken. Long 3 is good.
Nice looking shot, came off the high screen and just squared up, and that was a pretty deep 3.
38 3-point makes from McCracken, and that is an all-time record in Illinois State for a newcomer. And she can be dangerous from the outside, as can Jenny Mueller. She tries to answer with a 3 of her own, can't get it. Ahlstrom again. She's been an absolute fiend on the boards now here in this opening half.
She has 6 boards already.
Redbirds trying to work the ball into Hallstrom, and she's blocked from behind by Williams, and there's your new school record. A 53rd block now, which is a season record. Dina Williams surpassing her own record of 52. Timeout on the floor. 11:17 to go here until halftime at Redbird Arena. Here's another look at that block by Dina Williams. But her Braves trail the Redbirds 10-4. You're watching Bradley and Illinois State Women's Hoops here on WTVP, Channel 47.
Low fat or low carb.
Doesn't everybody? We're all into healthy eating these days, and that's why we pulled together some terrific healthy recipes for you.
Over 140 recipes in the America's Home Cooking Healthy Recipes. We got some of those folks, brought them in the studio, and we prepared some delicious dishes. So you'll want to get your own copy of this cookbook and see some great cooking. Join us for America's Home Cooking Healthy Recipes.
Are you young and fabulous? Or are you a parent of somebody who is young, fabulous, but possibly broke? You or your children may be struggling with your money, but I'm going to help. I'm going to give you a new way to think, feel, and act with your money. What's the only undervalued asset out there today? It's you. Join me for my new special, Susie Orman, for the young, fabulous, and broke. You can't afford to miss this one.
We are back at Redbird Arena, Illinois State University, where the Bradley Braves and the ISU Redbirds are playing women's basketball for the 44th time in their long history. And it's the final time, as Rich mentioned, for 10 players here. 5 Bradley players and 5 Illinois State players are seniors playing in their final regular season matchup. I guess there could be an opportunity that they would meet one another in the Valley Tournament, which is being played here in Normal this year next month. An opportunity for fans in Central Illinois to see good college women's basketball up close and personal. That tournament starts on March the 10th here at Redbird Arena. Turnover by Illinois State, steal by Dina Williams. And back come the Braves now, trying to cut into a 6-point Illinois State advantage.
Yeah, they're shooting 9%, so they'd like to get in double digits, I'm sure.
And that helps. Ball in the low block, and Amy Peters shoots it in. The sophomore from Gurnee is in the scorebook. Just the second field goal for the Braves now. 10-6, a 4-point Illinois State advantage. LaShawn Johnson, a freshman from Chicago, is in the game for the first time for the Redbirds. Donovan, she'll try a 3 and knock down a 3.
That's the thing you have to identify. They don't care if you're standing there with a hand in their face. They're going to shoot it if they like it.
Second 3-point make for the Redbirds here in the opening half. Peters missed the shot. Erica Nelson, the offensive board. Her shot rolls off the rim. Ball on the floor. It was Turtio fighting for it along with Peters, and this time the held ball will go to the Braves.
Substitutions for the Redbirds.
Jackie McCormick will re-enter the game for Illinois State, as will Amber Shelton. There's another look at that. Well, we've seen in the first, 9 minutes of this basketball game, Rich, we've seen about 4 instances where there's been a ball on the floor and players going after it.
Absolutely, and I think something the coaches like to see that often, it's the big people that are going after it, because a lot of times those centers don't want to get down and get dirty.
That's right. Jenny Mueller off the inbounds pass knocks down the triple. The first 3-point make of the game for the Braves. Back to a 4-point Illinois State lead at 13-9. McCormick behind a screen that time from Johnson on the switch out. And threw it back out to McCracken, see if she can save it. She's tightrope blocking. Nicely done. Kept it alive. Eight on the shot clock now. McCracken again behind a screen from Johnson. She'll try a three-pointer. Front of the iron, no good. Long rebound out to Williams, and back from the Braves now. Jamie Lugie's checked into the game for the first time. That's her with the basketball. Now it's Peters, where the Braves each time down the floor are looking to get that ball inside to Williams. Dina's 0 for 4 from the field. 9.5 minutes to go here, opening half. A 4-point lead for the Redbirds. Here's Lugie working the baseline with 8 to shoot. Her shot is no good. Williams had the ball knocked out of her hands. It's Brown. She's going to have to force up a shot. She drew the foul and banked it in.
Wow, that was a bailout. Jen Brown just scrambling, had the shot clock right in her face at 4 seconds, just fired it up, and the ISU player gets called for the foul. And this could be a big turnaround. There's Dina Williams, had it stripped actually by McCormick, goes right to Jen Brown, and there's the foul. And then they gave her the continuation and the bucket off the glass.
And Lugie's shot didn't touch the rim, so the shot clock was winding down, and it was at 4. And as you said, Rich, it was kind of a bailout shot just to beat the shot clock, and the Braves have hit the jackpot here. They got an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Both in one.
Dina Williams goes to the Bradley bench for the first time, and Amy Fuller, the senior from Peoria Heights, is now checked in. And Brown tries to make it a 3-point play, which she did, and we now have a 1-point basketball game. It's 13-12 in favor of the Redbirds. So the Braves in consecutive trips down the floor get 3-point plays. One on a 3-point shot from Mueller, and there are 3 points the hard way from Jen Brown. Shelton. Now it's Donovan with 10 on the shot clock. Hallstrom, baseline, works on Fuller, worked her way in and drew the foul, and now it's her turn for a 3-point play.
Well, she has a size advantage. She's a bigger girl than Amy Fuller's, and just got her on her hip a little bit too much. We're going to get a chance to look at it. See, she's on her hip already, and a little bit of a hook, but not called, and then used her size and mobility inside, and Amy Fuller behind her like that's the worst place to be as a post player.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that the first 11 minutes of this basketball game, the most aggressive player on the floor has been Holly Hallstrom. Free throw missed, tipped out, and it's off of Amber Shelton, so the Braves will get it. But Hallstrom is now 2 out of 3 from the line. He has 7 rebounds to go along with her 6 points for Robin Pinchton.
Hey, look at the rebounding edge. Before that, coming back from that last timeout, it was 14-6 in favor of the Redbirds, and she has half of them.
Devin Flanagan is back in the basketball game now for the Braves. Jamie Lugie brings the ball up the floor. Here's Mueller, works the baseline, cut off. Shot is up, no good. Lugie inside with the offensive board. Braves trying to space the floor out. They go to Peters on the low box. Went right around Hallstrom, no good, tipped out, and it's Donovan right in front of the Redbird bench that comes away with it. Now in the front court, here's McCracken. Now it's McCormick. Looking on the inside, the Braves do a nice job of denying that entry pass. Lugie all over McCormick behind a screen from Hallstrom. Now it's Shelton, cut off by Peters. Now Hallstrom with Fuller on her. Lost the dribble. And we've got a 3-second violation against Illinois State. Good defense that time by the Braves.
Absolutely, and it all started with Jamie Lugie out top. That's a great matchup, her against McCormick. Jamie Lugie, probably the most physical player for Paula Buescher's Braves.
The Braves never let the Redbirds get into their offensive set. They came away with a turnover. 7 turnovers against the Redbirds here in the opening 12 minutes. Here's Peters. Works on Hallstrom. Missed the shot. McCracken comes away with it. Now the Birds in the front court with a 3-point lead in the basketball. From the outside, a 3 is missed that time by Donovan, but it's Amber Shelton on the offensive board. Her second shot is no good.
Second chance again for ISU, and luckily for Bradley fans, they didn't connect.
The Redbirds are shooting 28% from the field, now 25% as they make the adjustment, 5 out of 20 from the field, and the Braves are at 4 of 19. So credit the defenses for really making the offenses work here this afternoon. Just 27 total points scored here at just about the 7-minute mark left here first half. Peters, outside jumper, rims in. Peters has given Paula Buscher a nice lift off the bench. She has 4 points.
That's the advantage she brings. She can shoot from the outside.
Here's Hallstrom, gives it up to Shelton on the low block. Her short shot is missed that time, contested by the Braves. And now Bradley has a chance to shoot for the lead. Fuller hands to Flanagan now. Fuller sets the screen, and Flanagan is bumped on the perimeter by Shelton, and it's going to be a foul against Amber Shelton.
Well, you're exactly right, Kurt. The defenses are really forcing the offenses way out on the floor, and that time you can see Bradley didn't get into the flow until 15 seconds were left on the shot clock.
Officials time out on the floor. 6:44 to go here in the opening half. Redbirds 14, Redbirds 15, Braves 14. You're watching Bradley University women's basketball here on WTVP Channel 47.
As disco turns 30, PBS gets down with an all-new My Music special. KC and the Sunshine Band presents My Music, Get Down Tonight.
Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina and the birthplace of tango. Through the hours of darkness, we'll showcase many of tango's greatest artists. So come join us on a journey from sunset to sunrise through the tango night.
In the home of Reggie Redbird. 6:44 to go here, opening half. Illinois State 15 and Bradley 14. The Braves can lock up a berth in the Missouri Valley Conference postseason tournament with a victory this afternoon. They are right now in 6th place, and Illinois State right now is in 8th place. So a key strategic game as far as the positioning goes as we get down to the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, the shooting continues to be a struggle for both of these teams, so whoever gets it figured out soonest might be in the best position.
Dina Williams is back in the ball game now for the Braves after getting about a 2-minute rest on the bench. Both defenses have really done a great job of extending the opponent's offense and really making it work hard to get to the basket. 10 seconds left on the shot clock here. The Braves are still way out on the perimeter. Here's Flanagan driving, kick out. Lugie may have walked, and she did. 6th turnover for the Braves.
Well, you know, Jamie Lugie's not the probably first choice on their offensive set, and she was totally surprised to get the ball and took a step before she dribbled.
Tiffany Hudson, the freshman from Naperville, bringing the ball up the floor. She's back in the game for Illinois State. Now it's McCormick with Lugie on her. Jamie's done a nice job on the defensive end. She hangs, fire stepped underneath and banked it in. Nicely done.
Smart play with a little up and under. Got Lugie to go for the head fake.
And so McCormick, playing in her final regular season home game as a senior here at Illinois State, with her first deuce of the game. Erica Nelson and Jen Brown ready to check in at the scorer's table for the Braves, and another turnover for Illinois State comes away with it. It's McCormick as the ball was off of Amy Fuller's hands, and now in the front court it's Hudson. Backdoor play. The pass was intended that time for Donovan. It was tipped out of there by Dina Williams. Nicely done, and Lugie goes and gets in the corner.
And that's what the Bradley coaches want her to do. If she's not getting points, do the other things.
Under 5.5 to go here in this opening half. A 3-point Illinois State lead. The Braves with the basketball can tie it with a 3-ball here. Mueller gives it up to Williams. Her 15-footer's off the side of the rim. And it's McCormick who comes away with it. Quickly, the Redbirds, who love to run the floor, up in the front court. 3-ball from the outside is up and down that time by Tiffany Hudson. That's just her 4th 3-point make of the season. She's now just 4 of 20 from the 3-point arch.
That's what coaches call a rhythm jumper. She just came down, set herself, and credit the nice pass.
And now from the outside, it's Mueller who answers with a three of her own, her second triple of the afternoon.
She's answered threes both times.
And Mueller now with 8 points is the game's leading scorer. Donovan lost the dribble. She's double teamed and looking for help. Michelle Herricus is in the game for the first time for the Redbirds. She's 0-0. Now it's McCormick driving the lane, drawing contact, and she's going to get to the free throw line. That's a senior move again.
Absolutely, and going up against Devin Flanagan, although I don't think she got called for the foul. They're going to call Loogie for it. But again, that's exactly what Jackie does so well. All the little things don't necessarily show up in a box score.
Well, here's the second all-time scorer in three-pointers at Illinois State with 169, but she likes to drive to the basket just as well as anybody else. And even though her frame, you'd say, boy, at 5'10" and the point guard, she shouldn't do that, but she's not shying away from contact at all.
No, that's why I said her and Loogie. Boy, that's a great matchup. If you love nose-to-nose defense, that's the matchup for you.
Ashley Shalene comes into the ball game. Amy Peters back in the game. Erica Nelson. It's like a line change made by Paula Busher here. And Jen Brown on the floor, too. So 4 fresh bodies for the Braves. McCormick misses both free throws. But the Braves just threw the ball away. Ty Margenthaler catching the ball right on the sideline.
Well, that's a missed opportunity there, and then some. 2 missed free throws. You get a rebound, start a fast break, throw it out of bounds. It's eerily similar to the first game, very ugly.
Donovan on the inside of Herricus. It's a 3-second violation before she can get a hold of the basketball.
I think she thought she had earned a foul. It's pretty physical down low.
Peters, Brown, Nelson, Shalene, and Mueller are the 5 on the floor for the Braves. McCracken, Hallstrom, Donovan, McCormick, and Herricus are the 5 for the Redbirds as we approach the 4-minute mark left here opening half. And another steal by Jackie McCormick, her 4th steal in the opening half. 3-on-1 as the Redbirds hurry, and they get down the floor and pass the ball nicely back to McCormick. Give them go, and she lays it in.
Lazy pass by the Braves on one end, and they know what to do with it. The Redbirds do on the other, and convert again on a nice, actually ended up being a 3-on-2 break.
4 points and 4 steals in the opening half from McCormick. 3.5 here to go in this opening half of play. A 5-point Illinois State lead. Brown behind a screen from Peters. Now the kick out back to Peters with 5 on the shot clock. It's Peters, a 3-ball left open, short, long rebound, tracked down by Nelson, and she drew a foul that time. So Erica Nelson never gave up on the play, and the sophomore from Orland Park's going to get a couple of free throws out of it.
Well, they got the foul on McCormick.
Jackie McCormick for second. Foul number 6 on the Redbirds.
16 foul on the Redbirds, and we've got an official's timeout. 3:25 to go in the opening half at Redbird Arena, where Illinois State leads Bradley 22-17. Women's basketball, you're watching it here, live from Normal on WTVP Channel 47.
WTVP is proud to announce the return of Andre Rieu and the Johann Strauss Orchestra to the Peoria Civic Center on May 5th, 2005 for an all-new concert. Support WTVP with a $250 membership pledge and get 2 premium seats for this extraordinary event. Call 309-495-0547 today.
Andre Rieu is back on PBS with a delightfully romantic concert from Corona, Italy. Join us for this captivating performance featuring the music of Puccini, Strauss, Beethoven, and Rieu's own compositions as we celebrate music and romance in a very special setting. Andre Rieu, live in Tuscany, here on PBS.
Here at Redbird Arena, Rich, 7 steals in the opening half by the Redbirds, and this one turns into 2 points.
Jackie McCormick took the steal, lazy pass, nice bounce, got it right back. Ended up being a 3-on-2 with the Bradley trailer. And then on the very next possession, when ISU got the foul shots and missed them, Bradley turned it over again. So both teams with 9 turnovers, kind of sloppy. And the big thing is that ISU is converting on some of those steals.
And Jackie McCormick gets a breather, now a well-deserved breather on the Redbird bench. Ashley Sandstead, freshman from Buffalo Grove, has re-entered the basketball game. The Braves with the ball and lost it out of bounds. Dina Williams is hustling to the scorer's table, see if she can re-enter the game, and she does. She replaces Ashley Shalene.
One place a post player doesn't want the ball is below their waist, and that's where that inbounds pass came, and Shalene just fumbled it out of bounds.
So the Redbirds now with a 5-point advantage. And Megan McCracken to bring the ball up the floor with Brown guarding her. Quick hands by Dina Williams as she deflects the ball out of bounds.
She's trying to do the other things well. 0 for 5 from the field. She does have 6 rebounds and that 1 block they gave her credit for. So,
well, that's a good point you made earlier, that she is such a presence on the floor that even if she's 0 for 5 from the field, she can still do some things defensively, like get a board there. Her 7th rebound of the opening half. Now it's Brown in the front court. Here's Nelson looking on the inside of Peters, but instead goes to Williams, and it's going to be a whistle against the Braves. And it's against Peters.
Bradley Bell, number 50.
A little too aggressive setting that post in the low block.
Number 7 on the Braves.
7th team foul now against the Braves, so it's going to be 1 in bonus for Illinois State from here on out. Here's McCracken behind a screen from Hallstrom. Stops, pops the 3, short. Long rebound out to Donovan. Well, the Redbirds probably have a half a dozen offensive boards from this opening half. Now it's Donovan working on Mueller. Lost the dribble to the baseline. She's in trouble. Needs some help. And it's the quick hands that time by the Braves, Amy Peters. And Amy Peters not only got the steal, but drew a foul that time against Illinois State's Ashley Sandstead.
That'll be the 7th team foul on them, so Bradley will have a chance to cut away at this lead with the clock stopped.
And so we'll walk down on the other end of the floor and get some free throws for Amy Peters. And again, we're seeing Tiffany Hudson come back into the basketball game for the Redbirds. And she'll send Sandstead to the bench.
Combined 21 turnovers in the game now, 11 for Bradley. That was the 10th for the Redbirds.
To the line for Bradley.
Well, Bradley averages about 18 turnovers a game, and the Redbirds about 17 a game, so both teams are ahead of their normal pace as far as turning the basketball over. And you know, neither coach likes to see that number go up high. Jackie McCormick's going to come back in for Illinois State, and Amy Fuller is scurrying to the scorer's table. She'll try to re-enter the game, and she will for the Braves. So McCracken out and McCormick in for Illinois State. And after Peters, if she was to make this second free throw, it'll be Fuller re-entering the game for the Braves.
When you talk about turnovers, the first time these two played, ISU had 21. Bradley only had 11, so they've already matched that here in the first half.
Second foul shot is missed, and it's Michelle Heracus. The rebound for Illinois State. Senior from Redford, Michigan, playing in her final regular season game at Redbird Arena. Here's Hudson. Now McCormick. Down low to Heracus, and the senior lays it in.
She likes to play against Bradley. Her career high of 15 actually came against the Braves a couple years ago.
She's now made 8 of her last 16 shots from the field, so she's shooting 50% in her last couple of games. And now Amy Fuller will re-enter the game for Amy Peters. So it's Brown, Jen Brown, Erica Nelson, Amy Fuller, Jenny Mueller, and Dina Williams, the 5 on the floor right now for Bradley. Meanwhile, Illinois State counters with Jackie McCormick, Tiffany Hudson, Katie Donovan. Let's see here. Who else is on the floor? Holly Hallstrom is on the floor, and Michelle Heracus. Ball is out of bounds to the Braves here with 1:55 to go here in this opening half. We'll get some thoughts from Bradley head coach Paula Busher as she leaves the floor at halftime. Her Braves trail by 6. It's the largest lead of the game, matching the largest lead of the game for the Redbirds, who were up 10-4 very early in this basketball game. Dina Williams still looking for her first points of the game. That's her with the basketball there. Her turnaround short shot is no good, but Dina's going to get to the free throw line as she drew the foul. So Williams, who was held scoreless in 14 minutes of action in the first meeting of the year between Bradley and Illinois State, now has a chance to score her first points of the season against the Redbirds here at the foul line. And again, we make light of the fact that she has 8 rebounds. Yes, she is still looking for her first points of the game, but she's done some very nice things on the defensive end of the floor for the Braves. The Braves would be having a very nice half defensively if it weren't for the fact of being overshadowed by the fact they've only had 19 first half points here. That's less than a point a minute when it's all said and done. Redbirds break the full court pressure. Hudson, who already has a 3 to her name, here misses, but Heracus the offensive board for 4 straight points now for Michelle Heracus. She's now made 9 of her last 17 shots, and what a lift she's given Robin Pinchton here in the last 45 or so seconds. Now it's Mueller left open from the arcs, and she knocks down her 3rd 3 right in front of the Redbird bench. And the Redbird coaching staff was screaming at the defense to try to get over and recognize that she was open, but it was too late. She knocks down the 3. Heracus working the baseline, and Michelle Heracus is going to get to the free throw line. She's been very aggressive here in the last minute or so. She's only been to the foul line 14 times this season.
Bradley foul on 55.
Get another look right on the baseline, and she draws the foul against Dina Williams. That's Dina's first foul here of the game, and again, Heracus to the free throw line. 6-foot senior from Redford, Michigan, played her prep basketball at Ladywood High School. Paula Busher, by the way, was an assistant coach here at Illinois State between 1986 and 1988 on the staff of the legendary coach Jill Hutchison. So she's got some connections to Illinois State, and one of Robin Pinchton's assistant coaches, Willie Cox, is a 1982 graduate of Bradley. So you've got coaches on both sides of the fence here that have ties to the opponent. 28-22, back to a 6-point Illinois State lead. We're under a minute to go here in this opening half of action from Redbird Arena. Jen Brown, her 3 is missed, and Illinois State comes away with it. It's cleared that time by Holly Hallstrom. That's Hallstrom at the perimeter, now gives it up to McCormick, who's being guarded by Mueller. Works herself to the baseline. Puts up the shot, and it's going to be Jackie McCormick to the free throw line. It's the 3rd time here this half that McCormick has driven right to that neck on the baseline and drawn the foul. Get another look. That first step of hers is very quick. And she's going to pump fake right here and change her shot in the air and draw the foul against Mueller. Second foul against Mueller. McCormick grew up on an Indian reservation in Idaho. She has a wonderful story. Played her college or her high school basketball at Lake Oswego in Oregon. As you see, Molly Harkey come in the game for the Braves. Missed an entire season here at Illinois State with a knee injury, and now in her senior year is the leader of this basketball team for the Birds. And after that made free throw, McCormick will go to the bench, and she'll be replaced by Megan McCracken. A 30-second timeout called by Paula Busher. So 36 seconds to go here in this half. And again, we will hear from Paula Busher as her team leaves the floor. And right now, it's Illinois State's largest lead of the game at 8, 30-22. The Redbirds at 8 and 15 overall and 5 and 9 in the league. Braves are at 13 and 9 overall and at 6 and 7 in the league. We mentioned the jockeying of positions when you start thinking about Missouri Valley Conference postseason tournament play. If the season were to end today, the Braves would be the 6th seed and the Redbirds would be the 8th seed, but there's still some basketball to go between now and the start of that tournament. Both teams come back on the floor now for the final half a minute here of this opening half of play. 30-22, the Illinois State lead is 8. Bradley trying to carve into that 8-point deficit. Here's Nelson looking on the inside, guarded by Donovan. There's a 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Ball on the floor. Now it's Fuller. Amy Fuller left open. She knocks down a 3. A big triple that time for Fuller. Her first points of the game. And the 4th 3-point make of the Braves in the half. 9 seconds to go here in the half. McCracken quickly down the front court. Her 18-footer on the go is no good. Long rebound out to Donovan. Her short shot is no good. And it's going to be Holly Hallstrom to the free throw line with 1.7 seconds to go. And we made reference to it earlier that the most aggressive player on the floor in this first half has been Holly Hallstrom. With the shot clock or the game clock winding down, Donovan put up the shot, which was missed, but Hallstrom there with her 9th rebound in this opening half and a chance to go back to the free throw line. The junior college transfer from Moline. Devin Flanagan comes in the game now to replace Dina Williams. See if the Redbirds will make a substitution or not. Katie Ward is at the scorer's table trying to get in at this final 1.7, but a lot will depend on whether or not this free throw is made. Hallstrom missed the first shot. Her second one is in. And so Ward will come into the game. She's the tallest Redbird on the roster at 6'7", and she will certainly guard the inbounds pass here with 1.7 to go. She's been sent into the game to try to cause all kinds of chaos there in the backcourt. Devin Flanagan to bring the ball up the floor, and her half-court shot is good if it goes, and it won't. So the Redbirds will go to the halftime locker room with a 31-25 advantage. A 6-point Illinois State lead. The Redbirds led throughout that opening half. And Paula Buscher is making her way over to talk to our Rich Drager. And let's go to Rich now on the sidelines with Paula Buscher.
Here at halftime, Paula Buscher, your team's down. I think both teams are playing pretty good defense, but you're just struggling shooting the ball so far.
Yeah, we're struggling shooting the ball a little bit, and I think our post players have got to be a lot more assertive. Right now, Illinois State's doing a great job being physical with our posts, and we're catching the ball 5-6 feet. We got to post low and decide we want to get the ball where we want to and not where they allow us to. I think we should be able to dominate a little bit more on the inside. The biggest, I'm not disappointed in some of our effort, except that on our blockouts. We've really got to block them out. You can't give a good shooting team second chance opportunities.
One of the things I know you like to have Dina Williams do is if she's not doing well offensively is play defense. She's done a great job of that in the first half.
Yes, she really has. I just got on her there at the end because I want her to get in her mind that she needs to dominate on the glass, and I think we need to block out a little bit. I don't like letting their post Hallstrom and those guys get second chance buckets, but you know, we're not playing too bad, but we've got to pick it up another notch, especially here on the road, if we think we're going to come away with the victory.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bradley trailing ISU at the half. Now back to Kurt.
All right, Rich, yeah, 31-25. The Redbird lead is 6, and Paula Buscher made reference to scoring in the paint. And right now, Illinois State leads Bradley in points scored in the paint, 12-4. That's an 8-point Illinois State lead in that category and a 6-point lead on the scoreboard. Halftime at Normal, where the Redbirds lead the Braves 31-24, and you're watching Bradley University women's basketball here on WTVP Channel 47.
On your mark, get set.
Bradley Women's Basketball on WTVP is brought to you in part by...
I just put my birthday money in a savings account.
Good things usually start small.
I want a good deal on my car and my loan.
But goals change. That's why SEFCU is always there.
I don't know which will be finished first, the house or me.
Helping borrowers and savers.
Sure, I'm retired, but I still think about my future.
Because at SEFCU, it's all about putting people first.
I really enjoy our life skills program we have here at Bradley University. It's a very important program for our student athletes and their student athlete experience. But one of the important aspects of this is not only for what the community gets out of it, but also our student athletes realize they're role models and they realize they also hold a very important function in our community.
The Bradley Athletics Life Skills Program was established in 1996 and is entitled BU Blast, which stands for Bradley University Building Leadership and Supporting Teams. The goal of the program is to assist in the overall personal development of our student athletes and to provide them with the skills that will assist them in their transition to life in the real world after college. The BU Blast Life Skills Program focuses on 5 key areas. Those are academic excellence, athletic excellence, personal development, career development, and community service. Programs and services are provided throughout a student-athlete's career to address these 5 key areas. The most visible component of the BU Blast program is our commitment to community service. We think it is important for our student-athletes to give back to the community and to serve as positive role models for young children. To support this commitment, all of our athletic teams are required to participate in a community service project each year.
Being a part of the Life Skills program and the Bradley Athletic Department has allowed me to go out in the community and meet many, many new faces. Every day I see another new face, or every day I see a child that has been at one of the camps at Bradley, and they just get so excited. I give so many high fives just going out to like stores and to malls and certain things like that, and I enjoy that so much because not only do they remember me as an individual, but they also remember what our team did for them.
To have the opportunity to go and just share a little bit about myself, and at the position I am as a Division I athlete, it's a great honor. I look forward to volunteering, and I look forward to meeting new people and to hear how they've grown up and what they want to be someday. And it's a great opportunity, and I really enjoy it a lot.
We could see how excited they were just to be there, and we were just as excited to be there and helping them get through it. If you work hard and if you have fun in it, that you can follow your dreams and basically be whatever you want to be.
Our student athletes participate in the Just Read program, which is co-sponsored by the Missouri Valley Conference and State Farm. Each month, BU student athletes read to students at a local grade school and talk about the importance of reading. In addition, BU student athletes have the opportunity to participate in our Student Athlete Speakers Bureau. This program allows our students to speak to children on a variety of topics, such as staying in school, peer pressure, setting goals, and sportsmanship. We are proud of the commitment our student athletes and coaches have made to the BU Blast Life Skills program. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the BU Life Skills program. It is through their continued support that we are able to enrich the quality of the student athlete experience at Bradley University.
Grab your shoes and bowling ball and head to Pekin February 26th. For just $5.50, you'll get 3 games of bowling, snacks, and door prizes, all while helping to support your local public television station, WTVP Channel 47. And anyone who raises $47 in sponsorships will receive a special gift. So don't wait. Gather your team together now and come to AMF Sunset Lanes in Pekin Saturday, February 26th from 1 to 5 p.m. To register, call Yvonne at 346-7901.
It's time for another Illinois Adventure Quick Trip. Today's stop is at Joliet's Ironworks Historic Park.
Joliet, of course, is known as the city of steel and stone. That term goes back to the 19th century. Rich deposits of dolomite limestone were discovered. The stone was used in architectural buildings all over the place, including the Joliet Prison, which stands behind us. The other part of that slogan, the city of steel, relates directly to this site. During the 1870s, the first blast furnaces went in at the site, and operations began here. I'm standing in the middle of what 110 years ago was the middle of blast furnace number 1. Going back to the 19th century, the temperature at this point would have been 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Those furnaces also provided jobs which attracted hundreds of immigrants to the growing city. It was hot, grueling, and even dangerous work. Raw materials were dumped into an opening at the top, while below, superheated air was blasted into the chamber, cooking the mixture into iron ore.
We are standing at the site of what were originally 4 large furnaces. There was 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. The purpose of the furnaces was to heat air to a super hot 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That hot air then, through a system of tunnels, would be sent down to the blast furnaces that we just came from.
Today, those brick-lined tunnels are slowly being exposed as nature gradually reclaims the land that was once hers.
Once it was abandoned in the 1930s, was all but forgotten for more than 50 years. This was a heavily disturbed area back in the late 19th century and early 20th century. Back then, obviously, there were no environmental rules virtually at all. The fact that today nature has returned in the sense that we see it gives you some sense of the tenacity of nature. We do treat this as a preserve, so we let nature run its course. It is open on a daily basis throughout the year for a self-guided tour, and we will see some information stations that help interpret the site for people who visit it. The entire pathway through the preserve is about 1 mile in length, which gives you some idea of how big the actual factory was at one time. On the other side of the street here, we have a trail system which leads to downtown Joliet and then links up with another trail that runs to Lockport.
To find out more about the Joliet Iron Works historic site, call the Will County Forest Preserve at 815-727-8700. And join me in the future for another Illinois Adventure Quick Trip.
Welcome to At Issue in Brief. I'm H. Wayne Wilson with another home energy conservation tip, and this time we're going to be talking about crawl spaces. I've asked Dave LaHood of Energy Home Insulation to help us because this appears to be an energy-efficient crawl space. Dave, how did we get here?
Well, H, let's see how easy it is.
Okay, Dave, what's the first step in insulating?
First step to any job would be safety, and above all, you'd have a mask. Secondly, glasses, gloves, and a couple, 2 or 3 layers of clothing.
Do we have any preparation work we need to do?
I think in this crawl or any crawl, you check for organic material and remove it first, so as to prevent mold, mildew, or attracting termites. Okay, just go ahead and foam the cracks. That's our next step. Just fill it up. And let's go ahead and do the sill plate, inside and out if possible. For big holes, just stuff the fiberglass, the old fiberglass in there, and continue along the sill plate.
Okay, Dave, next we need to insulate the dirt floor and the walls. What do we do?
First thing we do is, well, you're going to run into some old insulation, usually in an old crawl space. A lot of times we'll remove this and maybe use it somewhere later. But then we'll cover this dirt and we'll go up the walls so as to prevent moisture from evaporating into the house, and it reduces radon. We like to use this stuff. It's a double bubble reflective material. That'll go right over the visqueen as the next step, or as a final step, if you have old material from your crawl space project, you could lay this on as you leave the crawl space. Let's roll this out.
Well, we've got the floor insulated, Dave. What about the walls?
Well, the next step would be to do these walls. There's a couple different ways. You can use the old insulation that we found in the crawl here, attach it to the sill somehow. Probably best to remove the paper because of the fire rating, and it's got organic material on it. And we can do that, or we can also use a fire-rated blanket. We like to work with that at one piece all the way around. Either one is good. And the final step is to insulate the rim joists in this crawl space.
Okay, one more space left between the joists up above us.
Yeah, that's an optional, I think. This will block the heat from rising through if it's a warm crawl. If you've got ducts or water lines below, it's best not to do it and let the heat rise through the floor.
Well, we're all done. It looks nice, but how much of a difference do you think it really means?
Well, the infrared gun says 69 degrees, and it was 51.
So a significant difference already.
Yes.
Dave LaHood of Energy Home Insulation, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on At Issue in Brief.
On the Antiques Roadshow, you never know what they're gonna find. Like, you know, like right here in this trunk, there could be some priceless treasure. Like this plate or this plate. Both are worth cash. This lamp could be a Tiffany original. You never know. And this is, I don't know what this is really, but it's shiny, so that's got to be good. Back here, okay, that's alive. Don't want that. But this could be, well, no, this is junk. Is what that is.
Discover America's hidden treasures on the Antiques Roadshow.
Now this is nice. I got this in Memphis.
The Antiques Roadshow. What's in your attic?
Bradley Women's Basketball on WTVP is brought to you in part by...
I just put my birthday money in a savings account.
Good things usually start small.
I want a good deal on my car and my loan.
But goals change. That's why SEFCU is always there.
I don't know which will be finished first, the house or me.
Helping borrowers and savers.
Sure, I'm retired, but I still think about my future.
Because at SEFCU, it's all about putting people first.
Back at Redbird Arena. Halftime where Illinois State leads Bradley 31-25. Let's take a look at some of the highlights which shaped the opening 20 minutes of play.
Exactly right, and they're going to start off with ISU, and here's one of those passes, not too good, and McCormick with the steal, then watch really run a clinic fast break here. She gets out, finds her help, gets it, right back, up and in. Jackie gets the benefit of the steal and the 2 points there. This next highlight, another steal by guess who? McCormick. Nice reach around, poked it out of Mueller's hands, and again, just another classical fast break. This time, the defender keeps it, or excuse me, the passer keeps it. Donovan gets the 2. Here's Jenny Mueller doing what she does best. Got a step fake, steps back, drains the three-pointer, her three-point shooting, keeping the Braves close to the half. And then the final one is going to be a nice pass inside for Dina Williams to Peters. Peters, the only post player to score for the Braves with 5. No points for Williams or Ashley Shalene in that first half.
To take a look at the first half statistics, neither team hanging their hat on the way they're shooting the basketball. You know, the Braves at 27% and the Redbirds at 32%, but I think you've got to tip your hat to the defenses.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We asked Paula about that. She said, yeah, the defenses are playing well. She wants her post players to be a little more aggressive. She said Illinois State's dictated the tempo on the inside, and they think they can turn that around. So we'll see in the second half. ISU led the first game at Bradley at the half as well, 31-28.
And one statistic that we should mention, Jackie McCormick of the Redbirds with 5 first-half steals, which equals the total number that the entire Braves defense has. Illinois State will start this second half with the basketball. The Redbirds in their home whites with red trim, and Bradley in the dark road red uniforms with white trim. And both teams open the second half the way they started the game, except for Illinois State has Michelle Herricus starting the second half in place of Amber Shelton. Here's McCormick, 3 from the top of the circle, rims off, and it's Dina Williams with a rebound, and Williams now with her 9th rebound.
Alstrom has 9 for the Redbirds.
Nelson on the baseline, cut off. Now it's Liberatore who opened the first half scoring for the Braves. Couldn't get the shot to go down, but it's going to be Jenny Mueller.
That's what the Braves have to do. They have to get everybody to crash the boards. Dina can't do it by herself.
Mueller now with 11 points. She's the leading scorer in the game and the only one in double figures. Now Donovan, pump fake on Mueller, taking to the basket, drew the foul. That'll be the first against the Braves here in the second half. And it's going to be whistled against Mueller.
Jenny doesn't quite have the foot speed, and that's her third. And that's going to be key because, as you mentioned, Kurt, she's the only one in double figures for the Braves.
So an early third foul whistled against Mueller here in the opening minute of the second half. Holly Hallstrom, who had a terrific first half for the Redbirds, misses her first second half shot. The Braves have a chance to pull within 2 here. Williams out to Liberatore. She'll try again from the outside. It's no good. The rebound is on the floor and grabbed by the Redbirds' Megan McCracken. The Redbirds like to put the pedal to the metal. They quickly bring the ball up the floor as often as they can. Herricus, nice bounce pass to a cutting Donovan, who drew contact and is going to get to the foul line.
And more importantly for Bradley, that's on Jenny Mueller. That's going to be number 4.
Bradley foul number 15. Jenny Mueller, her 4th.
So, here's another look inside. Herricus, nice pass around Liberatore, and not much that Mueller could do. Not a whole lot of contact. She probably shouldn't even have been in the neighborhood.
Well, Devin Flanagan was at the scorer's table and more than likely going to come in the game for Jenny Mueller at the next whistle. But the foul, her 4th, came before that next whistle. And so here's the substitution. Mueller to the bench and Devin Flanagan comes in. So the Braves' leading scorer, Jenny Mueller, with 13 points, now to the bench with 4 fouls.
And they have to find some offense. It's half of their total.
Donovan cashes in on the foul shot. 33-27. It's back up to a 6-point lead. First 2 points of the half for Illinois State. And the Redbirds are going to get the ball back. Ball is out of bounds.
Well, that's the opposite there. Erica Nelson couldn't quite get the fast break set up the way she wanted. Dina Williams was down there, but she couldn't get her the ball.
Now it's Donovan guarded by Flanagan. Works herself to the corner. Now it's Herricus and McCormick with Nelson on her. 14 on the shot clock. Herricus pump fake. 3-second violation against the Redbirds. May have been Holly Hallstrom. So on the lane violation, that is the 11th turnover for Illinois State, matching Bradley's total for the game.
We've had several of those 3-second violations on ISU.
Ball out of bounds, but it's to the Braves. So Bradley on the floor right now with Jen Brown, Alex Liberatore, Erica Nelson, Devin Flanagan, and Dina Williams. Illinois State is counted with Megan McCracken, Michelle Herricus, Katie Donovan, Jackie McCormick, Holly Hallstrom. We're just underway. Second half, about 2 minutes into this second half. And Illinois State with a 33-27 lead. The Redbirds have led throughout this basketball game. The largest lead of the game was 8. Dina Williams is still looking for her first field goal of the game. She has one foul shot. Give and go. Redbirds won't run that well, but a nice steal that time. Jen Brown comes away with it for the Braves. Now it's Nelson left open. Her three is off the glass and in.
Three-point basket.
Not sure if she called it, but it went straight through.
And the Bradley bench up, cheering on Erica Nelson, who's pulled the team within 3. Nelson with her first basket of the game. It's a 3. Behind the back dribble, McCracken. Her pass is picked off by Dina Williams. So the second consecutive steal by the Braves defense. And a 3-ball here would tie the game. Flanagan penetrated. Missed the shot. Dina Williams, offensive board, got another crack at it. That one goes down. Her first field goal of the game.
17-11 now.
And she's pulled the Braves within 1. It's 33-32. Williams in double figures in rebounding now with 10. Baseline short shot. Herricus missed it. Holly Hallstrom is fouled going for the rebound. And it's probably going to be on Erica Nelson. Yes, it will be.
Call for Erica. She thought she might have had position. We'll get a look at it here. A little short jumper by Herricus comes up, and you can see, you can't really see, but she's kind of pushing with her body, and a nice job by Hallstrom to get in there.
And now you're seeing LaShawn Johnson, a 6'2 freshman from Chicago Harlan High School, in the game now for Illinois State. Her first look into the game here in the second half. She did play a couple of minutes in the opening half. There's Johnson's turnaround shot is short, but she's fouled. And so LaShawn Johnson is going to go to the free throw line.
Bradley foul number 55, Dina Williams, her third.
Dina Williams picked up her third foul on this infraction.
Came over late. Johnson turned around and shot it. Dina Williams just got an arm on her and kind of knocked her down, and that's unfortunate for the Braves, and they're starting to rack up some team fouls, 4-zip and team fouls against Bradley.
Johnson is just a 28% foul shooter, but looked good on that one. And now Dina Williams with her 3 fouls goes to the Bradley bench, and Ashley Shalene comes in. So 2 of the Braves starters, Jenny Mueller with 4 fouls and Dina Williams with 3 fouls, will find themselves parked next to Paula Busher here.
And the question will be for the Braves, where's the offense going to come from?
Missed the second free throw. Katie Donovan, Illinois State offensive board. And another second chance opportunity for ISU. Ball's tipped out of bounds by Jen Brown. Well, the Redbirds have really made a living on the offensive glass here this afternoon, and you mentioned that with Paula Busher on the way to the locker room at halftime, is that she says she's got to get her post players to tighten up and not allow those second chance efforts.
Absolutely.
Whistle away from the basketball is going to be on the Redbirds. That time LaShawn Johnson is going to be whistled for an illegal screen.
Foul number 42, LaShawn Johnson.
You've seen it called on both ends, various halves. People that are being a little too aggressive trying to set a post, they're going to be called for that down low. And you got to credit the officials for being consistent and calling it both ways.
Redbirds showing full court pressure now as Brown triggers into Nelson. Skip pass nearly picked off that time by a flying Megan McCracken, but Devin Flanagan comes up with it. Now she may have lost it, but somehow she kept under control. Brown finds Nelson, who penetrates and drew a foul that time. So what appeared to be a disaster for the Braves is going to turn into a couple of foul shots.
Redbird foul 42, LaShawn Johnson.
Get another look at that, and I think they're going to get LaShawn Johnson on this one. Nelson did a good job. She likes to do this. She kind of sticks her head down and drives inside. Johnson tried to reach from behind and got called for the foul that time.
Erica Nelson, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, has an 11-point scoring average against the Redbirds in her 2 years of playing against the Illinois State 74 rivals. Had 14 points against the Birds in their first meeting at Robertson Fieldhouse in January. Good on both free throws, and we've got a tie basketball game at 34. Brand new ball game now, 34-34. Bradley has come back from an 8-point deficit. They were down 6 at the half. defense by the Braves to extend the Redbird offense way out to the perimeter with 10 on the shot clock. Donovan drives. Nice pass to Hallstrom and a reach-in foul against Shalene. Or is it Nelson?
You're going to get it.
Yeah, Nelson.
That's the thing. Bradley that time kind of got caught on the switch, and so you had a guard trying to come down and take on Hallstrom, just a mismatch.
Timeout. Officials time out on the floor. 15:58 to go in regulation. We're all even at 34. Bradley and ISU, and you're watching it live here on WTVP, Channel 47. Redbird Arena, let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings, brought to you by Edward Jones. With more than 130 years of experience helping individuals build financial security, Edward Jones investing in you and your dreams. Southwest Missouri State, which has already won today, we can even update that. They have beaten Creighton today, so they're now 12-2 on the season, and they've increased their lead over Northern Iowa and Creighton. Indiana State and Evansville in the middle there. Bradley at 6-7 and Illinois State at 5-9. Again, the positioning in the final 2 weeks of the season heading into the Missouri Valley Conference postseason tournament.
Drake between Bradley and Illinois State has got a foul on the inbounds play.
We got a three-point play opportunity now for Katie Donovan, who drove the lane, drew the foul, and is going to get to the free throw line, and the foul is going to be whistled against Jamie Lugie. And the Braves are piling up the fouls here in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. Already the 6th team foul against the Braves. And Donovan cashes in and makes good on the three-point play, and the Redbird lead is 3 at 37-34. And Donovan, the team's leading scorer, now with 10 points in double figures. Here's Lugie as they break pressure, and there might be an offensive foul, and it is. The 7th team foul against the Braves here in 4+ minutes of the second half.
Here's another look as she comes down, and watch, she just kind of lowers her shoulder a little bit, and down goes Hallstrom. Jamie Strong, I'm not sure she's that strong, but credit Hallstrom with holding her ground.
And with better than 15.5 minutes to go in the game, Illinois State is now in the bonus and will be shooting free throws the rest of the game. Here's McCormick. Foul line jumper is good. It's 39-34 now in favor of the Birds. This is a very dangerous part in the game with both Dina Williams and Jenny Mueller out, and the Redbirds kind of smelling some blood here.
Absolutely, and Paula Busher trying to get Dina Williams back in the game, which she will at the next dead ball.
Here's Lugie, and she may have drawn a foul, and she did. The whistle's going to be against the Redbirds.
With that lineup you have out there, you really have to wonder where the offense would come from. Shalene is a good post player, but you have to be able to get somebody to deliver the ball.
Her third team foul, number 3.
McCormick picking up her 3rd foul now. 3rd team foul against the Birds here in the second half, and now indeed Dina Williams has re-entered the game for Ashley Shalene. Flanagan to trigger. Now it's Libertori with McCracken on her. Lugie, 15-footer, is up and missed. Ericus, who's played very well off the Redbird bench in her final senior home game here for the Birds. Nice touch pass from Jackie McCormick down to Hallstrom. Williams back to cut her off, and now Hallstrom's in all kinds of trouble, and it's a steal by the Braves. Good defense by Bradley. It's Lugie, 3-on-1. She goes to the left and goes to Erica Nelson. Missed the shot. Lugie, the offensive board. Stuck with it. Now it's Williams. Open to the foul line, but she traveled.
No, that's not very smart basketball by the Braves. You don't give the ball to a post player at the top of the key and expect her to make a good move with it.
That's a tough pass for a post player like that to handle. Now the Redbirds will make a couple of substitutions. Ashley Sandstead will come in, as will Tiffany Hudson. So now the Redbirds have 2 freshmen in the backcourt as McCormick leaves the game.
Jen Brown checks back in for the Braves, so they have a 3-guard look now.
Well, McCracken's in all kinds of trouble on full court pressure. Ball is off of Devin Flanagan and out of bounds. Here's where that backcourt inexperience with a couple of freshmen in the backcourt can really come back and bite you. Hudson screaming for help as she's double teamed to the backcourt by Brown and Nelson. Sandstrom goes to help, and it's Liberatore that comes away with the steal. Ball is out of bounds to whom? To the Braves. So Bradley turned the screws up on full court pressure, came away with a steal, and now the Braves have a chance to cash in after the turnover.
Good job, and that time he had a forward in Liberatore coming down and helping out on the press and got the steal.
Brown to trigger out to Flanagan, who's guarded by Hudson. Now to the near side. Nelson foot on the line. Long 2 is no good. Tipped by Liberatore. Offensive foul, Alex Liberatore. Over the back is going to be whistled against the junior from Springfield.
And again, as you mentioned, Kurt, with them being in the bonus, we're going to have a long parade of free throws here in the remaining 14 minutes.
One bonus situation upcoming.
And Donovan is trying to enter the game for the Redbirds, but she'll likely replace Ashley Sandstead, who's at the foul line.
The bonus.
A 58% free throw shooter, Buffalo Grove High School grad, a 3-time high school All-Stater. So on this senior day, when the Redbirds are saying goodbye to 5 seniors, some freshmen are getting some playing time here as the passing of the torch is officially going on. Sandstead makes good on both of her foul shots. She'll lead the game in favor of Katie Donovan. And now quickly to the scorer's table is Amy Peters for the Braves, and she'll re-enter the game. So the Braves now have Jen Brown, Erica Nelson, Amy Peters, Dina Williams, and Devin Flanagan on the floor. And the Redbirds, who are showing some full court pressure here, have Tiffany Hudson, Katie Donovan, Megan McCracken, Michelle Herricus, Holly Hallstrom on the floor. Flanagan guarded by Donovan, chased to the corner, looks inside to Williams, but instead goes out to Nelson. Nelson walked. 14th Bradley turnover, and McCormick is going to re-enter the game now for the Birds. So Robin Pinchton got those quick breathers for Donovan and McCormick, and now both have re-entered the game.
Bradley in the midst of about a 2.5-minute stretch where they haven't scored again.
We were tied at 34. The Redbirds are on a 7-0 scoring run. McCormick looks inside. It's Hallstrom with Dina Williams on her hip, and she scored right over Williams. Took it right to the rack.
Great job. She's nearing a double-double now.
What more can you say about the effort that Holly Hallstrom has put forth for the Redbirds? Paula Buscher wants 30 seconds to talk this thing over.
A 30-second timeout.
Well, we mentioned all you can talk about the Katie Donovans and the Megan McCrackens and the Jackie McCormicks and the kind of that 3-pronged guard offense that the Redbirds have. And Holly Hallstrom, as you mentioned, approaching a double-double now with 9 points and 11 rebounds has really been a major factor in this basketball game.
Well, the one thing that Coach Paula Buscher said at the half is that they were dictating how it was being played on the inside. And when you look at Hallstrom's numbers, you can see that not only is she 3 out of 6 from the floor, but 3 out of 6 from the free throw line as well. And here's a look inside again. Gets Dina behind her, and Dina has 3 fouls, and she can't be as aggressive maybe as she normally would be. Hallstrom knows that, and that's a smart post player.
Well, and you got to imagine that the Redbirds, knowing the foul scenario with Dina Williams and knowing what has plagued her throughout her career, will not be shy about trying to challenge Dina Williams the rest of this basketball game.
And it's hard, too. If you're Dina Williams, someone who's known as a shot blocker, it's hard to turn that switch off, and you just have to be smart enough to realize, hey, I can't afford to get my 4th foul here. You know, if she gets her 4th foul before the 10-minute mark, I think Bradley's going to be in some pretty dire straits.
Well, 3 first-half blocks for Dina Williams. She was very aggressive. On the defensive end, we mentioned how she struggled and did not have a field goal until early in this second half. with just 3 points, and you would look at her stat sheet and go, she's 1 out of 7 from the field with just 3 points. However, with 11 rebounds and with 3 blocks, she has really carried her weight on the defensive end for sure.
Yeah, and Bradley's shooting woes have continued. You know, they got it up to 31% at the half. They're now down under 30%, just 3 for 11 so far in this second half, as they're 11 out of 37 overall, and that's just not going to get it done in any league.
Well, this is a critical point in the basketball game. We were tied at 34 a few moments ago, and now the Redbirds are on a 9-zip run, and at the 13:24 mark have the largest lead of the game at 43-34. And again, if you've just joined us, Dina Williams with 3 fouls is in the game, but the leading scorer, Jenny Mueller, with 4 fouls is not in the game. So good. Instead, Mueller with those 4 fouls is planted on the Braves bench. Hudson, stutter step, drive it, and drew the foul. Moved by the freshman.
And again, not to belabor the point, but every foul is going to be free throws the rest of the way out, and I think that's the 9th. So you're talking about 2 free throws on starting with the next foul. Here's a look again, using her quickness, and not a whole lot of contact, but enough as Rich Chaponis whistled it and kind of told Erica, you did get a little too much of it.
Hudson was the point guard on 2 of the best girls high school basketball teams in the country the past 2 years. Naperville Central, a team that was led by Candace Parker, an All-American player, now playing at the University of Tennessee. So she's got a couple of championships under her belt on this very floor with Naperville Central. So she has played in big games before, and as a freshman is giving Illinois State a nice lift here. And the Redbirds now have an 11-point lead, and it's going to be a foul against Hudson on Jen Brown.
Turnabout is fair play, I guess. It's a good matchup, too. Jen Brown, as we mentioned, her last game against Indiana State, the first one she had more assists than turnovers, but she's kind of gotten her second wind, it looks like.
The Braves need a basket in a big way here. Jen Brown drives and gets it. Tough shot.
On the dribble with her left hand, switched as she went up and shot it right-handed.
And fading away. So Brown with 3 points and a traveling violation in the backcourt. So now the Braves have a chance to make it perhaps a 4-point trip down the floor here.
17 turnovers, 16 or 17 turnovers now for ISU. So they've had about 5 here in the early going of the second half.
Here's Flanagan, guarded by Donovan at the top of the circle. Now it's Nelson, who's been held in check by the Birds. Peters, short shot is good. Amy Peters off the Bradley bench has played very well. She now has 7 points.
And she has range all the way out to the 3-point line, and she can knock down that 12-15 footer pretty easily.
Redbirds break the full court pressure, and it's McCormick. Skip pass on over to an open Donovan for 3. That's good. Right in front of the Redbird bench.
And credit Heracus with a great screen that got her open.
The Redbirds have 4 3-point makes this afternoon. The Braves have 5. And we've got another whistle against Illinois State. Amber Shelton will check that. Holly Hallstrom whistle for that foul. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 11:59 to go here in regulation. It's Illinois State 48 and Bradley 38. You're watching the I-74 rivalry, live women's basketball here on WTVP, Channel 47.
Tournament at Redbird Arena, March 10th.
Grab your shoes and bowling ball and head to Pekin February 26th. For just $5.50, you'll get 3 games of bowling, snacks, and door prizes, all while helping to support your local public television station, WTVP Channel 47. And anyone who raises $47 in sponsorships will receive a special gift. So don't wait. Gather your team together now and come to AMF Sunset Lanes in Pekin Saturday, February 26th from 1 to 5 p.m. To register, call Yvonne at 346-7901.
Our mothers are our most powerful role models for health.
Renowned physician and author Dr. Christian Northrup reveals the powerful physical and emotional dimensions of the mother-daughter bond.
Welcome back to Redbird Arena, where Illinois State owns a 10-point advantage over the Bradley Braves, 48-38. The first meeting of the year between these two teams resulted in a 2-point Bradley win, 57-55 at Robertson Fieldhouse last month. There are some similarities between that game and this game, Rich. The shooting percentages, some of the turnovers, and really the, for lack of a better word, sloppiness of play. But certainly right now the Redbirds are in the driver's seat in this game.
Well, and the one thing that Coach Paula Buscher said she wanted to establish in the second half is the post play, and that's probably not going to happen with the fact that Dina Williams is in foul trouble, and Holly Hallstrom is just having an incredible game.
Amy Peters off the inbounds pass scores. Credit Jen Brown with a quick inbounds pass to a cutting Peters, who's played very well for Paula Buscher off the bench and has a chance to get into double figures in scoring if she can make this foul shot.
Well, the smart thing she did there was contact coming, as I think they called Heracus for the foul, and she managed to step aside and get the shot up and in.
There is still plenty of time left in this basketball game, and even with 4 fouls and Jenny Mueller on the bench, you know that shortly we're going to be seeing her re-enter the basketball game. The question is when. But again, the Braves have just piled up the fouls, and the Redbirds at this point are in the double bonus and will be for the remainder of this game. Near steal at the timeline. Megan McCracken trying to call for time, held ball, and it's going to go to Bradley. Well, one official is crediting the Braves or the Redbirds with a timeout, and the other one's saying held ball. And it looks like the timeout ruling is going to be the official's ruling.
I think Bob Strong had the better look at it from the same side of the floor that we're on, and he gave him credit for the 30-second timeout.
And so indeed, Megan McCracken on the floor and in trouble, screaming for timeout is what is being credited. So the possession arrow will still favor Bradley, but the Redbirds will have the basketball here after that 30-second timeout.
That's good teamwork you like to see from the officials. See if we can hear anything in the Bradley huddle.
And we tried to peek into the huddle there to see what Paula Buscher was saying about the tail end of her huddle there.
Well, they really can't afford those 2-3 minute stretches, certainly with no scoring, because Illinois State's playing well enough today that they're going to, put 7 or 8 on you in a hurry. Before that last break, they were on a 14-4 run, so Bradley can't afford too many more of those.
And the Braves have certainly turned up the pressure, the full court pressure, which has turned into a couple of baskets and a couple of possessions in their favor, and you got to imagine that we'll see that for the remainder of the game as well. Everybody's all set, and we are set to resume action here. We're under 12 minutes to go here at Redbird Arena. Illinois State with a 7-point lead in the basketball, 48-41. Donovan in the corner, double team. Now it's out to McCracken. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hallstrom working on Williams with 3 fouls, looking for help. Hangs, fires, missed the shot, tipped out, and it's Braves come away with it. It's Peters with the rebound. Flanagan looks inside, kicking around to the far side. Brown with a pump fake. Now it's out. Nelson, 3-ball is up and down.
Nice job by Brown to penetrate the seam a little bit and then kick it back out.
And the Braves are on a 7-0 run. They were down by 11 points. They pulled it within 4 at 48-44. Now the Redbirds have numbers. Hallstrom lost the ball out of bounds. Dina Williams with the aggressive play. And the Braves have turned the tables on the Redbirds here in the last 2 minutes.
Well, that's the first time we haven't seen ISU cash in on one of those two-on-one breaks.
Nelson guarded by McCormick. Amber Shelton's in the game now for the Redbirds. That's her guarding Peters. Now it's Flanagan who lost the ball out of bounds and is going to go back to ISU.
Bradley trying to pick up the tempo, it looks like, on their offense, trying to do more cutting and run a bit of a motion offense, and that time nice hands by the Redbirds.
And we'll see if the Braves try and trap. This time the Redbirds appear to have done a better job in breaking that full court pressure. McCracken, Donovan, 3, left wing is good. And if she gets those looks all game, it's going to be a long night for the Braves.
Great job, great court vision that time to see her streaking down the other side.
And now Dina Williams nicely done on the other end. The Braves answer right back and score on the inside. And again, full court Bradley pressure. McCormick gets the ball up to Shelton, who fakes on Flanagan. And now again, it's Katie Donovan. Donovan with her third 3-point make in the last 2.5 minutes.
That's the danger when you run that press. If it gets broken that easily, and boy, that's the one person, you're right, Kurt, they don't want to leave open.
Dina Williams answers her fadeaway jumper's good. Paula Buscher calls timeout. But at this point, the Redbirds are getting 3 points on every trip down the floor, and the Braves are getting just 2.
I never was good at math, but 3 for 2 is not a good exchange rate.
See if we can listen into what head coach Paula Buscher is telling her team.
Well, we were omniscient because that's exactly what Paula Buscher said. She said, I like the press, but you can't leave Donovan down there, so you have to talk, and that's the key thing. You're going to try to come over and trap that half-court release valve, and that time it was Shelton, I think, took 2 dribbles and then found her open in the corner. But that's what Paula Buscher said. I like the press, but you got to talk.
Well, Donovan is at 19 points now for the game, so she's 5 points over her season average. Last year, she averaged just under 20 points a game, was an all-conference selection in the Missouri Valley Conference, finished second in the MVP voting. And now, with her efforts today, she has turned it up a notch as far as the scoring is concerned and moved into 9th all-time on the ISU scoring list. She just passed Marla Maupin. So she's continuing to be a hit up those charts. Jen Brown with a near steal ball right in front of us, and it's out of bounds. It's going to go to Illinois State. Again, the full court pressure for the Braves is causing a few headaches for the Redbirds.
Absolutely right. They've forced them to turn it over 18 times now in the game.
McCracken brings the ball up the floor, guarded by Flanagan. Now it's Donovan who has the hot hand here in the second half. Ericus top of the circle. Left wing McCracken looking inside to Donovan. Instead dribbles to the foul line, then stop the dribble. Now it's out to McCormick. Under 9.5 to go here in this ball game. A 6-point Illinois State lead, and it's going to be a foul against Bradley. Nope, it's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, I think they called 3 seconds again in the lane.
Boy, initially, and Robin Pynchon's halfway out the floor. She can't believe it. It appeared that the initial call was going to be a foul against the Braves, but instead it's a turnover against Illinois State. They're 19th of this afternoon's game. Nelson was picked from behind. Loose ball. Redbirds come away with it. McCormick, no look, lead pass to Katie Donovan, who lays it in. How about that pass from McCormick?
That was fantastic, and it all got started again by McCormick on the other end, and she kind of swatted it away as Liberatore went by.
The Redbirds with an 8-point lead under 9 minutes to go here. Brown guarded by McCormick. Now it's Flanagan, top of the circle with Hericus on her. Dribble drive down, shoot it up and in. Nicely done by the freshman.
She still has the freshman blues at times. Not sure she should be as aggressive as she wants to be.
And again, the Redbirds move the ball down the floor, and Dina Williams just picked up her 4th foul. So Donovan found the open Holly Hallstrom, who drew the foul on Williams, who now joins Jenny Mueller with 4 fouls for the Braves.
Here's a look, a nice long pass. There's the top of the key, and what a great trigger person, and underneath all alone, and Dina Williams didn't feel like giving her the bunny. Going to make her earn it, but she drew her 4th foul along the way.
Hallstrom comes from a terrific athletic family. She has 3 sisters, older sisters, who are either currently playing college softball or have played college softball. I'm not sure in that driveway you'd want to tangle with those group of girls.
I don't think so. Bradley getting ready, I think, to put Jenny Mueller back in the game.
Hallstrom now with that made free throw, a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. And it matches her second double-double of the year. She had a 20-point, 11-board performance against the Creighton Blue Jays last month. McCormick the foul on Nelson, getting too aggressive on the reach, and that's 4 on Jackie McCormick. So the Redbirds suddenly have a little foul trouble to deal with.
The Braves are in the bonus now, so they'll be shooting 1-1.
Ashley Sandstead will come back in, along with Amber Shelton for Illinois State. And Holly Hallstrom, to a nice round of applause, goes to the Redbird bench, and Jackie McCormick is right behind her. Nelson's going to go to the free throw line now, as that is the 7th team foul against the Birds. So it's 1-1 time now for the Braves, who have found their way to the free throw line. Nelson is a terrific foul shooter at 91%. Braves have some very good young players. Their senior class is terrific when you talk about Amy Fuller and Dina Williams and Jenny Mueller. But with Jen Brown and Erica Nelson, Devin Flanagan, some terrific backcourt players getting a lot of minutes. And they are all underclassmen. A lot of years ahead of them, a lot of games left in Bradley uniforms for those three ladies. 5-point Illinois State lead under 8 minutes to go, and there's going to be a whistle against ISU. Is that right?
Moving screen out front, I think that's Shelton.
So Shelton is whistled for the foul, and there's a timeout on the floor. 7:54 to go here in regulation. Bradley has the basketball when we come back. It's Redbirds 57, Bradley 52. We're watching Bradley and Illinois State women's hoops here on WTVP, Channel 47.
In battle gear with barely enough to eat.
There were reunions and rejoicing. Power crisis.
The agreement was celebrated by hundreds.
And the streets are now lethal. BBC World News.
Now this game appears to be headed for a close finish, and when you take a look at the records, Illinois State is just 1-7 in ball games this year decided by 8 or fewer points. On the flip side, the Braves have done much better. They're 4-3 in basketball games decided by 8 or fewer points.
And we're just about at the point total now that the last game was at the end.
Still with better than 7.5 minutes to go in this one. Jen Brown, shot blocked that time. Got it back, shoot it in.
Jen Brown.
Brown's played much better with much more confidence here in the second half. Donovan works the baseline. Open pass to Michelle Heracus, who missed the short shot. Peters back to get it for the Braves. Brown now with 5 points to go with her 7 assists. And a travel violation against Devin Flanagan.
Substitution for Bradley.
Here comes Jenny Mueller back.
So here's Jenny Mueller's first reappearance here in the second half since picking up her 4th foul 2 minutes into this second half.
Yeah, she's been out for about 10 minutes.
Exactly. It was about 10 minutes and 30 seconds of clock time that she was strapped on the bench. Back in the game now with 4 fouls and 13 points. Shelton, nice pass to Heracus. Draw the foul and make the basket. How about that play?
Fantastic. She has had some good games against Bradley over the years and certainly earned the start in the second half based on her play in the first half. And a nice job as we're going to get a look at here. What a great pass by Shelton between 3 Braves. Spotted Heracus all alone underneath and up and in. And Liberatore too late with the foul.
Well, we mentioned about the emotion of senior day, and this is senior day for Michelle Heracus and what that emotion can do. And you really can't put a price tag on what that can do for a team. And with 5 seniors on this Redbird roster, and Michelle Heracus coming off the bench has just played outstanding in her final regular season home game at Redbird Arena. Illinois State's lead is 6 again at 60-54. Here's Mueller. How about that? Come off the bench after sitting there for 10.5 minutes and knock down your first shot.
And probably smart to do it on that, a drive inside shot as opposed to trying to just spot up and hit a 3.
15 points now. She leads the Braves in scoring. Here's Donovan, who leads the Birds with 21 points. She finds the open Amber Shelton, who shoots it in.
A lot less of an inside presence without Dina Williams in there.
And the Braves throw it away. The ball off of Mueller's hands and out of bounds.
Substitution for Bradley, 55.
And Alex Liberatore leaves the game now.
Alex Liberatore.
Erica Nelson's back in. So the Braves have Jenny Mueller, Erica Nelson, Jen Brown, Amy Peters, and Dina Williams in the game. And now Michelle Herricus will lead to a nice round of applause. Herricus out for the Birds, and Holly Hallstrom is back in. So ISU counters with Hallstrom, Shelton, Donovan, McCracken, and now Ashley Sandstead, who has replaced Jackie McCormick to give McCormick a breather on the Redbird bench.
I'd be surprised if they don't go inside to Hallstrom and try to get Dina Williams her 5th foul.
Ball is on the floor, and Dina Williams comes away with a steal. That's exactly what the Birds tried to do, though, Rich. You pegged that one right off the bat. Now the Braves trying to cut into a 6-point Illinois State lead as we approach the 6-minute mark left in this one. Mueller working on Donovan, spinning, hanging. She's going to get to the free throw line.
Well, again, there you have a senior for the Braves, Jenny Mueller, knowing that she has to be careful, but at the same time forcing the tempo and forcing the action on the defense.
Very aggressive, even with 4 fouls. Take the ball right to the rack here and draw contact.
There's a look as she just worked her way between 2 as Hallstrom and McCracken were on her.
She picked up an academic all-district honor this past week. Terrific student athlete. As you get a good look at Robin Pinchton in her 2nd year at ISU. And Mueller has just done about anything she's been asked. That's a rare miss from the foul line for her. 2nd on the team in scoring and rebounding and assists. And a terrific free throw shooter historically. She splits those foul shots. 62-57 is the Illinois State lead. Mueller now with 16 points to lead Bradley. 3 Braves in double figures. Nelson and Peters each have 10. And now another steal. The Braves come away with it. It's Jen Brown, and she's hacked that time right at the timeline by Ashley Sandstead.
And a silly foul. It's 10, puts the Braves now in the double bonus. Those are the kind that make coaches pull their hair out 35 feet from the basket. And Jen Brown didn't have numbers. She was outnumbered 3-1.
And so now the Braves join the Redbirds in the double bonus scenario. And folks, we've got a lot of foul shots in the final 5:38 to go. And if you're looking at that, Bradley is a very good free throw shooting team at 75.9% right now. If the Braves finish at that number, that will be a school record. The free throw shooting has gotten better for Illinois State in the last couple of weeks, but as a whole, the Redbirds have struggled at the line at just 62%. Jen Brown splits the free throws. Ball is on the floor, and Dina Williams comes away with it. This could be a 3-point possession for the Braves. Mueller. Peters, now Brown. Guarded by McCormick at the top of the circle. 14 on the shot clock. Bounce pass intended for Nelson, knocked out of bounds that time by the hands of Megan McCracken. 4-point Illinois State lead at 62-58 as we approach the 5-minute mark left in regulation here. The Braves won the first meeting of the 2 of the season by 2 points in Peoria last month. Nelson, 3, open, missed it. Dina Williams offensive board, free throws coming.
Well, on Hallstrom, that'll be her 3rd.
Redbirds foul on 25, Holly Hallstrom, her 3rd.
Williams now with 12 boards. She had a 17 rebound effort against Southern Illinois last week, so she has really done the board work here.
Yeah, last time we had her on WTVP, she had those 17 rebounds, had another double-double. She's had a bit of an inconsistent, but overall a pretty good senior season for Paula Busher.
No question. Jen Brown now goes to the Bradley bench to get a breather. The freshman Devin Flanagan is back in, and the second foul shot from Williams is up and down. And so Williams now with 9 points to go with her 12 rebounds. And it is a 2-point basketball game as we approach the 5-minute mark here left in this one. Kurt Pegler and Rich Drager with you. We're live at Redbird Arena for Illinois State and Bradley. And we are headed for a fantastic finish. McCormick thought about the 3. Now we'll shoot the 3. Missed it. And now the Braves have an opportunity to tie this basketball game up with a hoop. Mueller. This would be for the lead. It is. Who wants a tie? Bradley's first lead of the game comes at the 4:37 mark on a 3-point basket from Jenny Mueller. Once down by 11 points, the Braves have clawed back to take their first lead of the afternoon.
That's incredible. And Jenny Mueller, again, had to sit over there and watch for 10 minutes of actual game time, and she's been key with 5 points since she's come back in. Here's another look. There's Jenny. Just found a spot in the corner. Got it up. Nothing but net. That's what you want from a senior. Here's another look. Devin Flanagan. Nice dish in the corner. Late getting over to defender. And much like Bradley was late getting to Katie Donovan, Jenny Mueller's the one person you don't want to leave open.
Well, we talked about a stretch about halfway through this second half where Illinois State had a 7-point lead, stretched it to 11. Jenny Mueller was on the bench with 4 fouls at that time. Dina Williams had 3. She was sitting on the bench. It was like, this is the turning point in the game. What's going to happen here? Well, the Braves withstood that punch that the Redbirds gave them and have clawed all the way back down to take the lead. And when you're on the road and you just build that confidence, with 4.5 minutes to go, if you've got the lead, you think you can win the ballgame.
Coaches call it letting them hang around. You let a team hang around, all of a sudden they're right back in it.
Here's McCormick. Missed the shot. Ball tipped out. Redbirds come away with it. Another second chance look for Illinois State. Now McCormick. Pump fake on Nelson. Nice bounce pass down low to Amber Shelton, who shoot it in.
Great pass by McCormick.
Shelton now with 5 points. And the Redbirds back in front by a point. Peters looking inside to Shalene, who's back in the ballgame. For Dina Williams. 10 on the shot clock. 7 to shoot. Shalene on Hallstrom. Tough shot. Missed shot. Ball out of bounds. Braves crash the board, but it's off of Mueller. And the Redbirds get it. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Folks, don't go anywhere. 3:37 to go. And the Redbirds have a 1-point lead over the Braves. College women's basketball here, live from Normal, WTVP Channel 47.
Low cal, low fat, or low carb.
Doesn't everybody? We're all into healthy eating these days, and that's why we pulled together some terrific healthy recipes for you.
Over 140 recipes in the America's Home Cooking Healthy Recipes. We got some of those folks, brought them in the studio, and we prepared some delicious dishes. So you'll want to get your own copy of this cookbook and see some great cooking. Join us for America's Home Cooking Healthy Recipes.
Are you young and fabulous? Or are you a parent of somebody who is young, fabulous, but possibly broke? You or your children may be struggling with your money, but I'm going to help. I'm going to give you a new way to think, feel, and act with your money. What's the only undervalued asset out there today? It's you. Join me for my new special, Susie Orman, for the young, fabulous, and broke. You can't afford to miss this one.
Back here in Normal at Redbird Arena, Kurt Pegler and Rich Drager with you here on WTVP, live coverage of the Interstate 74 rivalry between Bradley and Illinois State. It's Redbirds 64 and Braves 63 with...
So the producer says he has to run an errand, and he asked me to hold the...
Being Dina Williams and Jenny Mueller, so it's crunch time, and Paula Bush is going to roll the dice.
McCormick, McCracken, Donovan, Hallstrom, and Heracus are on the floor for Illinois State. The 5-pitch opened the second half. It's Mueller, Peters, Brown, Williams, and Nelson for the Braves. Under 3.5 to go now. 10 on the shot clock. Heracus. Fadeaway, 7-footer, no good. May have been partially blocked that time. Dina Williams comes away with it. And once again, Bradley has an opportunity to reclaim the lead. Nelson, guarded by McCormick, lost a dribble. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Peters to Mueller, guarded by Donovan. Bodied up by Katie Donovan, and Jenny Mueller is not the person you want to send to the free throw line if you're an Illinois State Redbird fan.
Redbird foul on number 10,
Just
Katie
the second
Donovan.
foul on Katie Donovan. Good matchup with a couple of great seniors there that had very nice careers in this league. And as you mentioned, if it comes to a free throw shooting contest, you might pick Bradley, but they have missed a couple of times there recently.
And Jenny is the career free throw percentage leader at Bradley. And when Paula Busher needs a made free throw, she calls number 15's number. Shamina Bosch. She's about 90% of the season. And now the Braves back in front by a point, 65-64. 2:45 and counting left in this one. We wouldn't expect anything but a fantastic finish between these two teams, could we? Loose balls on the floor. Dina Williams, a steal, and a held ball possession to the Braves.
Well, that's impressive. Dina Williams, your center, out there on the point with 4 fouls and poked it away and then not afraid to dive after it and take her chances.
She has just gutted it out today. A really poor shooting performance from the field, but her effort in every other category has been outstanding. And she still could wind up with a double-double. She's at 9 points and 13 boards.
Yeah, she's done the little things and slowly but surely gotten a few buckets here in the second half.
Erica Nelson. And at that point, Jackie McCormick had to back off with 4 fouls, and Nelson took it right to the basket and shot it in. And Bradley's largest lead of the game at 67-64 now. Now it's the Redbirds that have to answer. All game long, it's been the Braves trying to answer the Redbirds, and now the shoe's on the other foot. As we approach the 2-minute mark left in this one. McCracken with Mueller on her. Pull-up jumper. Missed it, and it's going to be a foul against what appears to be the Braves. It's away from the ball. Is that on? It's going to be on Peters. I thought it was going to be on Dina Williams. It's going to be on Amy Peters. You see Paula Busher wanting an explanation that time from Bob Strong.
There's 3 Braves inside there, and Dina was certainly in the mix.
And so Michelle Heracus, who's played very well right now for Illinois State with some important free throws. Heracus just with 14 free throw attempts on the season heading into this afternoon's game. Has already been to the free throw line. This will be her 5th foul shot of the afternoon. So a third of her season total coming here today.
You know, she's a young lady that has had injury problems throughout her career, and you got to give her credit for kind of gutting it out. A lot of times kids have multiple surgeries, they hang them up, but she's come back and had a great senior day.
Split the foul shots. Now it's Peters on the other end. How about the pass from Jen Brown, but the Braves couldn't cash in. Terrific pass, but it's a 2-point 67-65 Bradley lead, and now ISU with a chance to shoot for the tie. McCormick, 15-foot pull-up. And Jackie McCormick has played very well in her final regular season home game now. 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 steals. Nelson lost the dribble, gives it up to Peters. We are tied at 67. 80 seconds to go in this one. Nelson working baseline. Got too far underneath it. Loose ball. Redbirds come away with it. McCracken in the front court. Robin Pynchon screams for a timeout, and she gets it. So the Redbirds call a timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout. And the timeout scenario is this. The Braves have a full and a 30 left. ISU has just a full now left.
And they also have the possession arrow after that last tie-up at center court. And both these teams are kind of gassed. You can see them laboring even to get to the timeout huddles. It's been a very intense second half of this ball game.
One minute, 10 seconds left to go here at Redbird Arena. We are tied at 67. Robin Pynchon's team will have the basketball when they come out of the huddle. The Braves send Dina Williams, Amy Peters, Jen Brown, Erica Nelson, and Jenny Mueller out on the floor. Illinois State counters with Holly Hallstrom, Amber Shelton, Jackie McCormick, Katie Donovan, and the player with the ball right now, Megan McCracken. Here's McCormick. Crossover dribble, spinning on Nelson, hanging, firing, missed the shot, chased into the corner. Amber Shelton comes down with it, and aggressively guarded by Williams, and she threw it off of Dina's leg and out of bounds.
Gutsy chance by Dina. She bodied up on her pretty strong.
53.8 seconds left now. A fresh shot clock now for Illinois State. McCormick to trigger. Her pass is nearly stolen by Jen Brown that time. Boy, Brown is so quick to the basketball. Fills those passing lanes.
They're trying to determine if they had 29 seconds on the shot clock before that inbounds. I think they're just trying to make sure everything's right.
Well, now the shot clock indicates 27 seconds left in this possession for the Redbirds. 52.8 left on the game clock. And again, McCormick to trigger for Illinois State. McCracken is guarded by Mueller at the top of the circle. Gives it up to Katie Donovan. Now Donovan, guarded aggressively by Brown. Lost the dribble, 15 on the shot clock. Now it's McCracken. Hands to McCormick, 10 seconds. They isolate her on Erica Nelson. It's a senior against a sophomore here. McCormick, pull up, 12-footer. No good. Tip out of bounds to Illinois State.
Well, you had to think it was going to either come down to McCormick or Donovan. They tried to get McCormick off the dribble, and now no more shot clock.
Shot clock off, 27.6 left here in regulation. The Redbirds appear content to hold for the final shot here.
Probably take it down to about 6 or 5 and then try to get a shot off.
McCracken, 10 seconds. They do have a timeout left. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. McCormick again. McCormick against Nelson. 3 to shoot. Fadeaway jumper. Good. .7 to go. 7/10 of a second left, and on senior day, it's the senior from Idaho who grew up on an Indian reservation, played her prep basketball in Oregon, missed an entire year with a knee injury, and Jackie McCormick has given the Redbirds a 69-67 lead with 7/10 of a second now. Now it appears the officials have asked for 6/10 of a second to be put back on. There's 1.3 to go.
We're going to get a look here. There's McCormick on the turnaround. She hit that exact same shot last year in a game between these two over here, so certainly no stranger to that shot. Bradley's going to have to devise some sort of a get it. Let's see what Paula Bush has drawn up.
Peter, if they set up a player on the ball, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to come up, set straight.
You'll recall it was Jackie McCormick that had the ball in her hands in the game in Peoria in January when the Redbirds were trying to shoot for a tie when it was 57-55. That shot didn't go down.
Exactly
and
right.
Again, Jackie McCormick got her number called this time, and it wasn't an easy shot by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it was very similar to the one right before that she had missed, and now we have official Bob Strong over here looking at the replay. I think they're trying to use a replay to see if they can determine exactly how much time should be left on that shot clock. This will obviously be key to the type of play that Bradley can draw up. I don't know if they have enough time to even try to throw it to half court and call a timeout. You see Ward come into the game now for Illinois State to probably guard the inbound.
You're right. Which is